And there we go. Welcome, everyone. We're doing another live discussion. I haven't done this in a little bit. I'm joined here with Aaron, also known here as, I hope I pronounce this right, Kang Cadmus.
Yes, I do apologize for the ridiculous channel name, but it is what it is.
Second.
Oh, yeah, I see why. My dogs are going crazy because it's 12 o'clock and the sirens are going off. So,
All right, hold on a second because I messed something up here. All right, sorry about that. All right. So, uh, before we get into the whole issue, I need to understand a little bit of exactly your position because I'm not sure if you believe New Testament or parts of the New Testament. I think you hold some sort of like a what's called Marcionism or Markianism. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I thought you were talking about the Gospel of Mark originally.
all
You
right.
mentioned that, so that's why I said, well, I already knew that, but then I showed my dad, and he was like, "Oh, that's an ancient heresy." I was so confused for a second, so I had to look it up, and I was like, a movement back in like what 140, I believe. So, explain that a little bit and exactly what you
Well,
believe.
yeah, so Marcion actually knew the Apostle John. Some people would say, I'm not saying this is true. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just throwing it out there that Marcion actually even helped author the Gospel of John. All right. But anyway, they call him a heretic, but they say Marcion invented the New Testament. He's the first person to put together a New Testament canon. And it consisted of one gospel, which is a proto Luke, an early version of Luke. And it consisted of 10 of Paul's letters. And he called it the New Testament. And that was the first ever New Testament, and the church copied it and plagiarized it and changed it. Essentially, that's what happened. And modern New Testament scholarship is hot on the trails of digging. They get into the truth, man. We're coming to find out. Yeah, Marcion probably really was the first. And Marcion said that the God of the Old Testament is not the Father of Jesus. I mean, at times he can be a just God. He's very strict. He requires obedience. I mean, there's good things in the Old Testament too. Don't get me wrong, but the bad stuff definitely outweighs the good. So, what do you think about that?
Okay, yeah, I have because that was the first time I heard of it. Um, what I'm
Uh, uh, uh,
confused,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, what I was a little confused about when I was just thinking about, and there's someone in the live chat that also wants to talk to you, but we'll probably do that after because I want to discuss a little bit. His name is Fight League, so yeah, you can talk to him afterward. I just want to go just a little back and forth with him for maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes or whatever. Just kind of get the gist of what his position is, discuss respectfully, and where was I going with this? Oh yeah, okay. So what I was confused about was how, because I guess he had only part of Paul's letters, and then every time he quotes the Old Testament, it wasn't there. So I was confused on what basis does he do that, and then on what basis does he choose part of Paul but not the other parts?
That's a very complicated question, now, isn't it? I would recommend listening to a scholar by the name of Marcus Vincent. He has MarcusVinzent. He has a lot of videos on YouTube. He's pretty much, from what I've seen, the most active Marcion scholar on YouTube. And this guy is sharp, let me tell you what. But yeah, I would recommend it because that's a very complicated question now, isn't it? But essentially, Marcion taught that Jesus was not a Jew, that he was not the Jewish Messiah. And then all these prophecies in the Old Testament talking about Jesus, those aren't even really about Jesus. Those were about a failed Jewish Messiah that never happened. We could go into the details on those prophecies. You could pick and choose. I mean, I'm not saying that's true, but I mean, I partially agree with it. I do agree that some of the Old Testament prophecies that Christians claim are talking about Jesus are not talking about Jesus. I could go with Isaiah 7. I could go with the one in Micah. I mean, there's a lot of prophecies. I mean, I have no problem with people using those scriptures to say that's talking about Jesus in a spiritual manner. You know, I have no problem with that. But originally, it originally was not talking about Jesus in those prophecies.
So if I'm,
yeah.
oh, okay, that was weird. The voice completely
Oh,
changed pitch.
sorry.
But anyway, I was like, is that another person here? What? Okay. Anyway, so something I was also a little. So what I'm understanding is that there are parts of the Old Testament you would think are okay. That's pretty cool. Like, I don't know what example we would have, but there's parts of it you may believe, but then other parts that you'll say, okay, that's evil. What is the
Well, I
mental?
mean, there's a lot of wisdom in the Old Testament. Don't get me wrong. I love the book of Ecclesiastes, for instance. That's one of my favorite books, you know, and Yahweh's not in that book, by the way, in the Hebrew. But I do love that. I mean, I like a lot of I've studied the book of Genesis so much. All right, let me get to the gist of it. I'm gonna just come out and explain it in this manner. All right. When I read the New Testament, I've been doing this for years. First of all, let me tell you this, brother. Let me tell you something. I've been teaching the Bible for like 20 years. Did you know that I am a former white, black Hebrew Israelite cult leader? Okay. And we use
Wow.
I know the Old Testament in and out very well. And the Old Testament is always used to push racist, hateful ideologies. It's used to push violence every time. Every time somebody tries to depict to you a violent Jesus, they'll link it up with the Old Testament or the book of Revelation. That's a whole nother story. But let me focus on this. All right. I'm going to go to some of Jesus's core teachings. The first one is what? Bless those that curse thee. Now, why did Jesus say, bless those that curse thee? He said it because that was in direct defiance to what the Torah says. Yahweh says in Genesis 12, in the promise he made to Abraham, and also Genesis 27, in the blessing in which Jacob had received, Yahweh said, bless those that bless thee. If anybody blesses you, they'll be blessed, but curse those that curse thee. Anybody curses Abraham or Israel, they get cursed. But Jesus, in direct opposition to that blessing, said, no, bless those that curse thee. Therefore, in my opinion, nullifying that blessing. That's one point. The Torah teaches what? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. All right. If you knock someone's eye out, you got to pluck their eye out. If you know, eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. Jesus said no. Okay, that's he said forgive them. Okay, show compassion, forgive people, man. Sometimes people do you wrong and you have to forgive them. Okay, that's just simple and plain. What's another one? Oh, Yahweh punishes you with plague and famine, and he will stop sending the rain upon you, and he will give you a season of drought in the season of famine. However, we can even read in the heavily Judaized book of Matthew. You can read in Matthew, the 5th chapter, in the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus says that the real God, he's a God that sends rain upon the just. He sends rain upon the righteous and upon the wicked. Okay. He doesn't, no, God is not like that, man. God never told Moses to go murder his next door enemies he didn't like. All right. Exodus 15:3 says Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Jesus is a man of peace and a man of love. All right. And that's just facts. These are irreconcilable things. They cannot be harmonized, in my opinion. Psalms 137, verse 9 says, happy shall he be that taketh thy little ones and smashes them or dashes them against the stones. So I cannot, that's irreconcilable. That is when people say Jesus is Yahweh, I cannot accept that. Jesus never smashed babies. Okay. Jesus loved the little children. He never said smash baby. And he definitely did not say to be happy when you smash the babies. So, a lot of early Christians believed that the God of the Old Testament was a demiurge, that he was a lesser deity. And I can get more into the mythology and the origins of the God of the Bible if you would like.
All right. There was one point you mentioned there. I want to touch on that. I think it was, if I remember correctly, you said something about not the eye for an eye. It was something about the what Jesus said. Love your neighbor. That's right. Right. Love your neighbor and love your enemy. And
Yes,
then,
yes.
um, yeah. So I think the reason that Jesus is saying certain things that seem to contradict the law is not necessarily that he's trying to defy the law per se. And I don't know how much of the New Testament you accept. So I don't know if you'll specifically accept this passage. Let me pull it up. But Matthew chapter 5, verse 17, and it says, "Do not think that I came to destroy the law or the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For assuredly I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle will by no means pass from the law until all is fulfilled." And then he goes on to explain how he's going to fulfill the law. And I think there's another portion. I think it's in Mark. I'm not sure if it's in Matthew,
Yeah,
but
I know exactly. I got a great answer for that. Maybe a great answer.
all right, yeah. Just let me finish
Okay,
my point
yeah,
really quick.
Matthew 5 and 17. When I was
Okay,
a Hebrew Israelite,
yeah. Can I
I'm
finish my
curious.
point really quick?
Oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, I was also mentioning. I think it's in Mark. I'll have to double check and find it, but the Pharisees are questioning him
Mark
on
7.
on divorce.
Oh,
There's
divorce.
yeah, I don't remember where. I think it was like Mark 4 or something.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah, I know what you're
yeah
talking about. Yeah,
yeah,
he
and
does.
then
Yeah, the law. He quotes the law. Well, Marcion would not have any of that stuff in his Bible.
yeah,
First of all,
so
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so they are questioning him on divorce, and he tells them, "Have you not read from the beginning that he made them male and female? Therefore, let not man separate what God joined."
Right. He
And
made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
yeah, exactly. Um, and so he's opposing divorce. Then they ask him, "Why does Moses then allow divorce?" And then he tells them, "It's because of your stubbornness." And so one thing I would say is the law was never meant to be a forever kind of thing that was to be followed.
That's not according to the law. The law says it is forever. See,
All right.
it's very hard to harmonize any of these things, Like when I was teaching I was with, you know who Great Millstone is?
Reg Millstone? No,
Great
I don't think so.
Millstone, GMS, Hebrew Israelite Group. They're a great bunch of guys. I used to teach with them. Hi, GMS. It's like, do you know who Vocab Malone is?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Okay, Vocab. He's like kind of like my son. If you'd he's not like my biological son, but kind of like my spiritual son. So we and him, we go way back. All right. So just let you know.
He's actually one of the people that sort of inspired me to sort of start researching this Hebrew Israelites,
Oh,
Hebrew
really?
roots
So that
movement.
means you're
Yeah.
my grandson. Wow. That is
Uh,
great. That is so beautiful. See, that's how the Lord works. And Vocab Malone is dying to get an interview with me. Too bad for him.
uh. All right. So did you want to say something about Matthew 5 there? Because you said you
Yes.
had, yeah.
That was our favorite scripture in the
Yeah.
Hebrew Israelites because we use that to say you have to keep all the laws. Now let's take that literally. Let's say we have to keep all the laws. What about the laws concerning the R word? The violation of women in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, where it says if you find a woman and if you take her in a field and you lay hold on her, and she is not betrothed, okay, and you have humbled her, and you have to keep her all the days of your life. You can never divorce her, and you have to give her father 50 shekels of silver. That's the law. That's you have to keep that law. That's every dot, every tittle. What do you think about that?
Uh, so funny thing, I was actually taking notes on some passages that I thought he would probably go there, and this is actually one of them.
That's a ridiculous law, is it not?
So can I address what I think about this passage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what I think is, and there's different views, but my view, I would say that this is not necessarily referring to rape. The previous verses mention rape. Let me actually double check if I quoted the right one. But if you okay, yeah, verses 25 to 27 mention the law on rape here. So it's but if a man finds a betrothed young woman in the countryside and the man forces her and lies with her, then only the man who lay with her shall die. But you shall do nothing to the young woman, there is in the young woman no sin deserving of death, for just as when a man rises against his neighbor and kills him, even so in this manner, for he found her in the countryside, and the betrothed young woman cried out, there was no one to save her. So these ones, I would argue, this is a law on rape. But what I would argue is that these next verses are not about rape, but about more so seducing and fornication.
But it says if he lay hold on her. And when you go into, check this out, man. Let me explain something. Among the Hebrew Israelite community, this is one of the biggest controversial scriptures in the entire Bible. We argued about it for weeks, for months, for years. We went into the Hebrew, into the, you name it, man. We went into it, and it's definitely talking about the R word, which really means to pick her up and take her and carry her away, and you keep her. It's like, it's a caveman religion, in my opinion. There's good stuff in there, though. I'll give you that. But my point is this. That's awful. The law is awful. Maybe we can justify it morally. It could be done in some kind of strange way. But my position is this. I'm tired of wasting my time defending Yahweh. Okay, when you believe in Yahweh, you spend more time defending the stuff in the Old Testament than you do teaching about the love of Jesus. I've had enough of it. What do you think about that?
I'm not exactly. Repeat your point really quick, because I'm not exactly sure.
My point is this. Okay, Yahweh, like Deuteronomy 22. I've spent hours, months, years, weeks, eons debating with people, trying to justify that morally. Okay, I've made numerous hour-long videos. We've had debates. It's a waste of time. I'm tired of wasting my time trying to defend this barbaric God named Yahweh in the Old Testament, who says you will be happy when you smash babies, that the wives and their women shall be dashed to pieces in the book of Isaiah. Okay, it's on and on. As Abraham married his sister. I'm tired of trying to defend that. Okay, I cannot defend Abraham marrying his sister. There is no moral justification for marrying your sister. And he did it because that was an Egyptian custom done by the Egyptian royalty, as was the ritual of circumcision. That all comes from Egypt anyway. There's nothing special about the Bible. Yahweh's a primitive storm god. And I'm tired of defending it. Jesus said all that came before him were thieves and robbers. And I finally got it. After 20 plus years, I finally got it.
All right. Someone wants to join. I'll let them join in a second. I just want to make one more point. So something about, what was it? Defending Yahweh, that you got tired of defending Yahweh.
That's all you do. When I teach the Bible, I spend more time defending Yahweh's evil actions than I actually get to talk about the stuff I want to talk about.
Yeah. And by the way, Fight League, just check my YouTube. I have a community post with a link. Just click the link and then you can join. Try to keep it as respectful as you can. I don't want to have to like start getting involved, but I have to. But
I haven't even cursed yet. I haven't even cursed yet, have I?
No, I'm talking about like both of you. Like,
okay,
yeah, not you specifically. So far, you've been respectful.
Thank you. I'm trying
here. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me pull up the YouTube.
You're a cool guy. I like you, man. I watched some of your videos.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I agreed. If I didn't like you, I would not get on here with you. Vocab Malone asked me. I'm not saying I don't like Vocab. Okay, but he's kind of like on punishment right now.
All right. Here, I'm gonna put the link on the screen here for our friend to join. Posts. All right. So yeah, this right here is the. I can't highlight it. No. All right. So this is the link right here. But before I do that, I'm trying to remember my point because I completely forgot. Okay, so when it comes to defending Yahweh, this would depend on who I'm talking to. But I don't typically yeah, like I don't typically try to go into every single context of every verse. Mostly when it's atheists, the question I'll ask is, what is your standard by which you're gonna judge here? Right? Because I always make the point that atheists don't have and I don't think you're an atheist, so I can't really use that with you so much.
The Romans called the Christians atheists. Really, Christians were the first atheists.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah. But anyway, so when I where was I? Oh, when I discuss with him, I don't typically try to go too much into the text because I don't feel like I need to. But then with other situations, I might combine the issue of standard moral standards with what are the context of each at least passage. But someone wants to come up here and discuss, so I'll let them talk. If it
Yeah,
gets out of hand,
can I
if it
respond
gets
to that just really quick? You made
yeah,
a really
sure.
good point. Like I said, wasting time defending Yahweh's crazy, insane actions. That's the main thing atheists always use in their arguments is, oh, what about Yahweh's? All the things I just said, that's what atheists harp on the most. They concentrate on the evil things in the Old Testament. Jesus didn't do anything evil. There's not, you can't say a single bad thing about Jesus. He is spotless.
All right, so I'm gonna let Lee come up now. If things get out of hand, I'm just gonna cut it right there.
That's fine.
So if all right. Anyways, Lee,
What's
how you
up,
doing?
guys? You hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Good afternoon.
Okay, what's up? Yeah, thank you. It's morning for me. I'm from Italy, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we went back and forth on the comments, you know.
Okay.
But I want to ask you something. Can I do it?
Yes, sir.
So, do you like Saint Polycarp?
Polycarp. Yes, I'm aware
Yeah.
of Polycarp.
You like him?
I don't know. I don't know him. I never met him.
I mean, have you ever read?
Are you trying to set me up for something? What are you trying to set me up for?
I'm not. I just want to hear your opinion. I'm not because.
I mean, I like
Yeah.
Marcion. What did Polycarp have to say? Did he speak on
Yeah,
Marcion?
yeah. He called him the firstborn of Satan. I'm not joking.
Okay.
He called him like that.
But you know what? He said that because he didn't know. So I forgive him.
What do you mean he didn't know?
He didn't know. Just the same reason why people crucify the Lord. They didn't know.
Can I ask you?
Yes.
You know who Polycarp is, right?
Yes, bro. I'm aware of all the church fathers. Yes.
So he was a disciple of the
yes. Apostolic succession.
Okay.
And all that
So
good stuff,
why was Marcion excommunicated?
So did Marcion know the Apostle John?
I mean, I don't think he did.
Oh, you don't think he did?
I don't think he did.
That's what you think.
Okay, can you show me where he knew the apostles?
You have to find it for yourself.
I'm asking you because I haven't found any sources.
I mentioned a brilliant scholar earlier, Marcus.
Yeah,
Vincent.
a scholar. You can mention a scholar. I even watched the YouTube videos about them. I'm not joking.
All right. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. The scholar. A lot of scholars do believe Marcion knew the Apostle John. Okay. Some debate. And first of all, no biblical scholars. None of them agree on anything. All they do is argue with each other. So that
I mean,
there's
even,
no need for authority.
Yeah, even you guys argue on a lot of stuff, right? Or are you guys all?
My stance. Look, we can get into the weeds all we want. My deal here is morality and meditating upon what is God. What truly is God?
We can talk about that.
Let me ask you, sir. Let me ask you a question, sir.
Yeah.
Does the real God of the entire universe, does he get hungry and does he require sacrifices and for you to feed him bulls, goats, and turtle doves? And do you think the real God actually told Moses to take the blood from the sacrifice and to sprinkle it on people like devil worshippers? What do you think about that?
Okay, where does he say that he did it?
Moses took the blood.
Can you show me where devil worshippers sacrifice?
Yahweh's devil worshiping. I hate to say it like that. It comes as a shock, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it does come like a shock. I think you're just blaspheming because you're taking things. Yeah, I mean, you are blaspheming.
I am. I'm blaspheming Yahweh. Yes, he didn't exist.
Okay,
he's Zeus.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Are you on Gnostic?
Let's check this out. Yahweh.
Because you are diverting. I wanted to ask about Marcion. Then we can go to Deuteronomy 22. I mean, you cited it before, right?
Yeah.
You think it's about rape?
What's wrong with Marcion? He was a good man. He was a Christian.
Oh yeah, he was a Christian. Yeah.
He gave all of his money to the poor. He gave all of his money to the poor and he got excommunicated because he got mad that they gave the money and built a building with it instead of feeding poor people.
But how do you know that? What is your source for that?
I'm the source. I'm the expert.
Oh, okay, so you take things like, okay, so you're the manuscript, right?
Manuscript? What manuscript?
Yeah.
Hey, check this
the
out.
writings of Marcion, right?
All right, let's calm down for a second. Let me make a couple points real quick, okay?
Sure.
Are you familiar with Irenaeus, right?
Yeah.
Now, he said the only official gospels are the 4 canonical gospels that's in our New Testament. He said there can only be 4 gospels because there are 4 principal winds, north, south, east, and west. So do you is that actually a good legitimate explanation for why you can only have 4 gospels, because the wind blows north, south, east, and west?
Can you show me?
Who believes this stuff, brother? Who believes this? Who believes
you
this?
Remember
stuff?
where
Is the gospel of Thomas is more legitimate than all 4 canonical gospels?
I mean, I know you like Gnosticism, I know, but I was just asking you.
The gospel of Thomas is not Gnostic.
Wow, you're saying, well, oh, okay, you didn't say the, okay, you didn't say the epistle of, oh yeah, you say it's not Gnostic?
Gospel of Thomas is not Gnostic.
Oh, wait, okay, one sec. Because
Gospel of Thomas is a collection of Jesus's sayings.
Oh, yeah. That's what they say too, you know.
But and check this out. And listen to this. In the Gospel of Thomas,
it's Gnostic. It's
not Gnostic.
It is. I mean, it's literally here, man.
Do you know who Dr. Elaine Pagels is?
Okay, before we go on for 2 seconds, just so if you guys are gonna make claims about certain things, it would be nice if you just bring some sort of source and you.
I did.
I have Elaine Pagels. New Advent classifies it as a Gnostic one.
Well, it's not. Thomas is not Gnostic. That's. I mean, they can say that's not Gnostic.
I mean, I have to read it.
It's a collection. Gnostic. No, brother, I'm an expert on this stuff. Listen, the Gnostics Gnostics are wild and crazy. They believe in an innumerable bunch of archons and different gods, all kind of weird stuff. There's none of that weird stuff in the Gospel of Thomas. Okay, you can call it Gnostic. Gnostic just means knowledge. It's definitely filled with knowledge. The kingdom is within you. The kingdom is within you, and it's all around you. That's the Gospel of Thomas. And also, let me make another point, because this goes beautifully with what I'm talking about. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus, he said, you do not have to get circumcised. He said, if my Father wanted you to be circumcised, you would have been born and came out of your mother's womb already circumcised, which is in direct opposition to the God of the Torah, Yahweh. He commands that you get circumcised in all your generations until the end of time.
Okay, for what reason did he ask you, Abraham, to do that?
Abraham was married to a sister. Is that your God?
What reason?
Because he's an incestuous person.
No, I'm asking you, what reason did he?
For what reason? Abraham was a sexual freak. He was married to a sister, and he liked taking skin off of people's penises.
Okay, can we relax? Because that's not what I'm not asking you about Abraham. No,
you just did. I answered.
No, that's why I'm asking you about why did Yahweh?
The circumcision.
I'm asking you.
Okay, the circumcision. I'll explain it, because
what was the reason for the circumcision? Basically,
I'll tell you the real story. The Israelites had just came out of Egypt. All right. Now, circumcision was originally practiced by the Egyptian royals. So in the Old Testament, it says the Israelites would become a nation of kings and priests. Therefore, they're all considered royalty, and they all have to be circumcised. But it all goes back to Egypt. Just like the Ark of the Covenant, that's Egyptian. That's not special. I mean, come on, bro. Moses is an Egyptian name.
So. I'm asking you something else, brother. See, you're not understanding me. That's why let me talk, so I can elaborate.
Elaborate, please.
What was the reason why God told Abraham to circumcise?
Because I just told you.
No, you say the
Torah is made up. Look. It was written in the Library of Alexandria, brother. Listen to it. And it's based upon some real history. The Hyksos, or whoever you think the Semitic people were that were in Egypt. Okay. I'm not giving you any definitive dates of when the Israelites were in Egypt. Nobody knows. There's no history on it. There's no proof. There's no evidence. You have one inscription, the Merneptah Stele. That's it. Okay. So listen. Circumcision is an Egyptian custom. That's where the Israelites got it from. They're a nation of kings and priests. They're trying to be like the Egyptians. Simple. Okay. I mean, there's even Egyptian hymns in the Old Testament, Psalms 104.
So it makes sense.
The hymn of Akhenaten.
Makes a lot of sense. You know,
the Ark of Covenant is Egyptian, is it not?
So you go out from Egypt after they enslave you, and you want to become like them. It makes a lot of sense.
Let me ask you a question. The Ark of the Covenant, do you think you can actually put God inside of a box and carry him around?
Yeah, because he wasn't physically inside. Who told he was?
But God needs a box, right?
What are you talking about? So, God needs a box.
God, well, you said the real actual God told Moses to build a house for him too, right? Did God actually
tell... but his house is a temple, right?
Yeah, but what does the New Testament say?
That
1 Corinthians 3 and 6,
stops existing.
1 Corinthians 3 and 16, my brother.
Yeah, what?
Read it. Will you please read it? Okay. You want me to get it? 1 Corinthians 3 and 16.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's the Spirit that dwells in you, right?
Can you read that aloud for me, please? I would really.
Yeah, I read it. Does that mean now you don't have a church?
Yeah, we are the temple. We are the temple.
Okay. So, okay.
We don't need a temple.
You don't need it, right?
The temple of God's not made with human hands. Even Isaiah the prophet said that. Isaiah the prophet does not even agree with the Torah.
Okay, 1 second. Because let's see now if you don't need it.
These are good questions, though. I like the questions.
Yeah, I know you like the question. Now we're gonna see the question. Can you go to 1 Timothy 3:15?
1 Timothy,
or do you take it as scripture or not?
Timothy, that's very questionable. Yeah. But I still like it though. I really like Timothy, even though Paul probably didn't write it. Still fantastic.
You don't. Yeah, but because now, go ahead.
Timothy was written to control the church, man. Come on, bro.
Oh yeah, I know, man. All these, conspiracy theories, I know.
Yeah, it is written to control the church. Come on.
So Marion, by the way, because how do we know about Marion? How do we know about who he is, etc.?
Marcion from the church fathers.
Yes,
the church fathers.
Oh, only from them, right?
The church fathers all snitched on themselves and they didn't realize it.
Oh yeah. Oh, how did they snitch on themselves?
They snitched on themselves. What by multiple church fathers quoting directly from Marcion's gospel.
Yeah, no.
And then the scholars. Now listen. What the scholars do is they read. They're experts in Greek and Latin, and they read all the church fathers' writings, and they extract every quotation from Marcion's Gospels, and they compare. It's very.
They compare it to the manuscripts.
It's very data intensive. Very data intensive.
They compare. Can I jump in here? Compare those to the manuscripts, right?
Yes.
But you know what? Because this is what they don't tell you. See, this is what they don't tell you. There are manuscripts which are early manuscripts too. That are one can be Gnostics. So you know.
Can I jump in here really quick?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I kind of want to stay on topic because I don't know how we got here. We're getting to temples and.
I want to say. Hey, this is the fun stuff. I haven't even really said what I wanted to say.
I want to say one thing though. I don't know. So. I think their whole argument is based on a false premise, because they are saying, okay, this is what he said, because they look at the church fathers and the quotes, right? Because they quote from his gospel, right?
Yes.
And then they look at the manuscripts, but what they don't tell you is that. So that means that Marcion wrote that. Because Marcion can basically copy a manuscript that was already there and put it in his gospel. That's what it is.
I mean, that's your opinion. I mean, we all have our perspectives, brother, and we're
no. That's something they have to prove.
That's not. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you at all. I agree that Marcion invented the New Testament.
All right. I kind of want to jump in.
There are even Gnostic writings that are very early.
Marcion is not a Gnostic. He's a dualist.
According to Bart Ehrman, he is.
No, he's not. I watch Bart Ehrman all the time. I'm subscribed to his channel.
Can I read it again for you?
Bart Ehrman specifically says that Marcion is not a Gnostic. He says it over and over again because people always confuse him as a Gnostic. Please,
can I read? Can I cite it from his book or no?
I mean, how old is the book? Maybe he had changed his view since then.
Okay,
because
okay.
I watched all of his videos.
And what does he say about Marcion?
And he might have labeled him as Gnostic in the past because that is the way you group people. I listened to all Bart Ehrman's videos. Like, stop.
And what does he say about Marcion now?
I mean, he said to Marcion, he says what everybody says. Marcion's a heretic.
Who? Ehrman says Marcion.
But, okay. Hey, John, brother John. I like that. Brother John. Do you have any more questions for me?
Oh yeah, I wanted to go back to.
I never got to explain my initial point.
I wanna quote Bart Ehrman, please. Can I do it? 1 second, guys.
Yes, please do it.
So, okay.
I mean, you can prove. I mean, that's not a win. That's just a waste of time. If you want to call Marcion a Gnostic, because fine. Marcion's a Gnostic. Let's move on.
So he is or no?
Fine, that's fine with me. I can call myself a Gnostic. I like that title.
Yeah, you know that Gnostics believe in things like, for example, that you have to become a female. You have to become a man to enter heaven.
No, that's gospel. That's at the end of the Gospel of Thomas. And what he said was in the resurrection that Mary would have to become a man. Have you ever seen a female angel?
No, I've never seen with my eyes.
So please let's not ridicule everything at first glance.
All right.
I just
want to make sure that we're still sticking with the topic, is the New Testament evil.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hey, John, I have what I would really like to talk about the Zeus thing, since I said it so many times in your comments.
Oh yeah.
May I talk about it?
Yeah, you talk about it briefly, and then I'll say my thoughts.
All right. So essentially, look, there's a lot of Indo-European mythology in the Old Testament. Okay. All right. This is pretty easy. I'm gonna compare Yahweh to Zeus. All right. Yahweh and Zeus. First of all, they are both the son of El, or Cronus. Okay. Kronos is the father of Zeus in Greek mythology. Okay. The Romans called Cronus Saturn, and they called Zeus Jupiter. All right. But check this out. So the Greeks equated Saturn, aka Cronus, with the Phoenician god El. E-L-L. That's where you get the word Elohim. That's where even the word Allah eventually descends from. Okay, El would be Saturn El. That was the original god during the Golden Age in mythology. Okay, so Saturn El, that's where you get Israel. They also worship that ancient god originally, just as the Greeks. The Greeks are Israelites, but that's a whole other thing. They're related. Okay, it's more complicated than that, but let me move on quickly. All right. So Saturn El was the original god that they worshiped in the far distant past, but eventually his son Zeus took over and he became the main god. Just as in the Israelites originally worshipped El, but they slowly started worshiping Yahweh. Okay, now we should show you the comparisons. I'm going to show you the similarities between Yahweh and Zeus. All right, Yahweh and Zeus are very similar. First of all, Yahweh and Zeus, they both live on top of a magical mountain. Now, there is something called a magical mountain motif in Indo-European religions, in Indo-European myth. Okay, it happens all over the place. The magical mountains where gods live. All right, that's Mount Olympus. All right, 12 Olympians, 12 tribes. It's very similar. And did you know that Plato wrote in his book, The Republic, that if you want to set up your perfect city-state, that it should consist of 12 tribes. It should consist of 12 tribes. That's what Plato said. So Plato had an influence on the writing of the Old Testament. Now, there were a people called the Israelites, historically speaking. But the 12 tribes of Israel, that's mythology. That was added on as part of their foundation myth. Okay, that's obviously astrotheological. Okay. But anyway, so Zeus and Yahweh both live on a magical mountain. They both punished mankind for receiving knowledge. Did they not? Yahweh punished man for receiving knowledge.
Brother, right? Can I say something, my friend? I know, but because you said one thing, my friend. You say Plato influenced the Old Testament?
Yes, very, very much so, yes.
Okay, but when was Plato writing? When was Plato writing?
Well, a couple hundred years before the Old Testament was written in the Library of Alexandria.
Oh, so so we don't have any. When was the time of the Library of Alexandria?
The Old Testament, the Septuagint, was published. It was not like written like all. It was compiled and edited from ancient sources.
Okay, you say
Sure. It was compiled from ancient sources. I'm sure they had cuneiform tablets stacked up to the ceiling. They were some of the top scholars.
So,
However,
are
they
you
added.
aware of? Sorry, are you aware of what we have? We have basically texts that are very, very old, even older than the Septuagint and the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah, remember? Wait, don't say no, don't say no. Remember what I said. I showed with you.
Oh, you guys want to talk? Yes, I love the Dead Sea Scrolls.
No, my friend, I showed with you in the chat. Remember, days ago.
I love the Dead Sea Scrolls. Let me talk
no,
about the
it's
Dead
even
Sea
older than that, my friend.
May I talk about the Dead Sea
What was
Scrolls
the name of that? Remember?
Deuteronomy 32:8.
No, I'm not talking about a verse.
Dead Sea Scrolls.
They were like.
You don't want to talk about the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Plato had the verses of the Bible in it. Remember?
Plato came before the
plates like chains, like amulets.
Oh, you talking about you talking about the silver amulets?
Yeah,
but it had something that it's slightly similar. It's not word for word. It's kind of similar, but
they are older, right?
It's similar, yes, but I never said that Israelites were never historical people. I said
but I'm asking you. They are older than Plato, right? And the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Septuagint, right?
Yes, the Israelites are real people. They had a religion, yes.
And you know that some of the things from there, they are basically verses from the Bible.
Yes. Well, not really, but kind of. It's very similar. It's very similar. It's not word for word, no, not at all. But it's very similar.
I'm not saying that. But
I said that the Bible was compiled and it was written in Alexandria, but they drew upon ancient sources.
So it was compiled before.
But it's still, they mixed the Greek stuff in with they changed their God. The original God of the Israelites was El, not Yahweh.
Okay, and are you aware that according to the Bible, there is only one El? There
is multiple gods, and God, and the gods and Elohim said, "Listen, let us," and gods said, "Let us make man after our image."
And tell you, look at verse 17.
That's polytheistic, brother. That's polytheistic.
Okay, can you look at verse 17? Because I know what you're referring to. Genesis 2:16, 17. I know. Go read it.
Do you read Hebrew?
Yeah, I mean, I can pull up the interlinear. I know what you're saying.
The word says Elohim, and it says us. Do you know?
And then it says then at verse 27, it's singular, right?
The Elohim are the sons of El. If you know anything,
at verse 27 is singular. I know.
Listen to me, brother. Listen. Are you guys? Do you know of the Phoenician historian Sanchuniathon?
I could care less, my friend.
Of course, you could care less.
Yeah, because you're putting things that are not in the Bible.
I'm not, man. The Elohim are the sons of El. The Elohim are the auxiliaries of El. They're the sons of El. Archaeology proves it. I mean, come on, brother. Do you know who El is? El is an actual a Phoenician god who they sacrifice children to. So it makes sense, they be child sacrifice.
Can you go to Genesis 1:27?
Saturn El is Kronos. He ate his children. Saturn El ate his children.
Younger Christian, can you screen share and put the interlinear?
Do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy.
Because, I mean, you keep saying this stuff, man. Please, just put the interlinear so we...
Israel.
Genesis 1:27 interlinear.
Israel. El. Saturn El, the Phoenician god.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to
the father of Zeus.
We'll get to my friend. Chama. Okay, bro. Can you go to 1:27, please?
See, we're wasting time defending the Old Testament when we could be talking about.
No, because you were saying. I just want to show my perspective, because
I understand. I'm just messing with you, brother.
Okay.
You still got a ways to go.
Because, for example, you're aware, right, that Elohim can be translated as singular too, right? Because it can also mean it's singular. It's gods or also God, right?
The singular form of God is El.
Yeah, but as can also mean there are Elohim that are used also for singular, right?
I mean, depends on how hard you want to cope.
No, it's because when the verb is is not a plural verb, then the word should be singular, right?
Hey, brother, I got another really good in Genesis 3.
I am asking you.
No, I got a good explanation
Can you
for it.
answer?
This is the explanation. You have to let me explain.
Okay.
All right, Genesis 3:22 is another perfect example of how it is plural, because Yahweh said, Genesis 3:22, Yahweh says, "Behold, man has become as one of us, of us. Oh, to know good and evil." No. And then he kicks Adam and Eve out of the garden to prevent them from obtaining eternal life.
Yeah, that's not in the verse. You're adding that.
Jesus, no, it says it. It says it. 3:22. It says
to
it.
Prevent them for eternal life. Okay, show me.
Read it. Genesis 3:22. Jesus promises eternal life. Yahweh promises you'll never get eternal life. Facts.
He's talking about the tree of life.
No, the tree of life. Jesus gives us eternal life. He said, let us kick Adam and Eve out of the garden because they're going to get a hold of the tree of life and live forever and be just like us. And he didn't want that. Jesus does want that because Jesus said that we are gods.
Okay,
Yahweh, Yahweh created mankind to be servants and to be retarded, dumb slaves. He created man to work in his garden, and he created us to be his servant.
When you say, okay, did God kill Adam and Eve after they ate from?
No, he did not. That Yahweh lied. Yahweh said, if you eat the fruit, you're going to die. And when they
why didn't he kill them?
When they ate the
fruit,
they
so
didn't die.
Why not?
Yahweh
lied.
If
he's so evil, why didn't he kill them?
Yahweh lied.
If he's so evil, why didn't he kill them? See, answer it.
No, but he lied. He said he was going to kill them.
If he was so evil, why didn't he kill them? Why did he let them live?
Hey, that's a good point. Yahweh is very inconsistent. I will give you
that.
Listen, I got a good question. Why did Yahweh protect the first murderer ever, Cain? How come he did not punish Cain? Cain should have got put to death. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, Yahweh. Eye for eye. How come he protect? Why did Yahweh protect murderers and smash babies?
Can I answer?
Why is he so racist?
Because we're gonna go to the topic of
Yahweh's racist, and Yahweh smokes weed too.
Yeah. No, you do too. I know you.
Yahweh smokes weed. They found THC at the Yahweh altar in Israel.
No, listen.
Yahweh smokes weed, and he smashes babies, and he's a barbaric warrior storm god. It's a caveman religion.
Yeah, I know you are from. I know you're a caveman. I know.
Yahweh teaches you to go violate women and to burn down.
Yeah. You want to go to Genesis 22?
Deuteronomy. Listen, brother.
You want to go to Genesis? Listen, brother. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22. Let's go there. I was waiting, man, because you brought up.
Go ahead. I'll let you talk.
Yeah. So go to Johnny to help the case. Go to Deuteronomy 22 with the NIV, the version, the non-inspired.
Oh, the 20. Yeah, 20. Yeah, okay.
Oh, the NIV. He said he got to use the NIV on that one.
Yeah, no.
That one's so
prove
bad.
Your point even more.
Hey, that scripture is so bad. That scripture is so bad. You gotta go. Don't worry. You gotta get this one Bible if you want to read that scripture.
No. It's gonna help your point. See, you don't understand. Ooh. No, put the NIV, brother.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah.
Look, it's gonna help his case. He doesn't understand.
What about Psalms 149? What about Psalms 149 when Yahweh says
we're gonna go there? Can you stay there? Can you stay there, please?
What about Psalms 149 when Yahweh says to put all your enemies in slavery and put them in chains?
Here, man. We're gonna get there. Stay here.
He says to put your enemies in chains.
Stay here, man. Stop jumping.
Look, in Psalms 58, listen, brother.
Can we go one verse per verse or no?
All right, hold on.
Can we go?
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something about that Genesis 3:22. I'm not exactly sure, but I was just checking a few commentaries, and one of them was mentioning that the state of living forever was now undesirable because of sin. But anyway, to Deuteronomy 22.
Yeah, you see, the word is rapist, right?
It takes a lot of mental gymnastics.
No. It says rapes, right? It is raping, right? Okay,
It's a
says
sugar
rape,
free,
right?
so I'm good. I'm not going.
Brother, it's in your face. It say rape, right? Aaron.
Aaron.
Aaron. Okay. Aaron. Okay. It says rape, right?
You can call me Kang.
Alright. Can you go to Deuteronomy 22, 25, 29 now? The context.
Yeah, I know the scripture. I know it.
Okay, let's start from that one. Start from 25. Okay.
Go ahead. I already know. I know. I don't want to go into the weeds.
So
on
there are two rapes.
Look, this was my whole point.
No.
I don't want to. You're wasting time defending Yahweh. That was my whole point.
Okay,
you're wasting
how
your time defending Yahweh.
Tell me. How
you're
did you
wasting
use
your
to
time
defend
defending
this?
Yahweh.
How did you use to defend this? Tell me.
I'm not wasting my time defending rape in the Old Testament. No, thank you.
It seems like you really just to quote verses and then you don't want to talk about them.
I don't. It's a waste of time, brother. It's a waste of time, brother.
If it's a waste of time.
This is my whole point. Is you have to get rid of Yahweh, man. He's getting in the way. Okay, he's getting in the way.
You don't know what you're talking about because
I do know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for 20 years.
This thing. Okay, can we read
people get turned off by Yahweh. Yahweh turns away people from God.
Okay,
can we read this,
Aaron?
Because I'm gonna show you that Jesus is Yahweh. But
one second. Because if we're talking about whether the Old Testament is evil, then wouldn't we want to talk about these passages and what they mean?
Yes, but I know what it means. It means RAPE. And then you give her.
Can we read the context then? Can we read the context?
And then you give her father. And then you give her father money. You can essentially buy women.
Can we read the context?
Take the Old Testament and throw it in the trash.
Can we read everything, or are we gonna leave out some stuff, bro?
I'm done with it. I don't want to hear it. Get it out my face.
Okay, then what you hear if you don't wanna? I
try to be nice to you, brother. I try to be nice, but you need to reassess your morality. Okay, instead of keep trusting these
you
old,
need to reinstate your interpretation. I know.
How about we listen to the scriptures of the Spirit? There's a spirit of the living God inside of you. You listen to the Spirit of God that is inside of you, and He will tell you what is right and wrong. That is wrong. That is evil. You're not going to tell. You can't justify that, bro.
Come on, it's just in front of your face.
Hold on a second.
It's you can't.
One second. So, are we not going to talk about the passages here, or
I'd rather not. Because go ahead. You can explain it. It's very.
You don't want to talk. Okay, fine.
It's actually torture. It's actually torture to listen to you try to.
Bro, I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna do tap dance like mental gymnastics. It's in front of your face. It's not a tap, man.
That's kind of the whole point why I had this discussion, because I was expecting to talk about.
What about usury? Is it okay to charge people usury?
Hold on a second.
No. Listen, Yahweh said. Cause I'm about done anyway. Yahweh said this.
Okay,
He said you can charge. Listen, brother. He said you can charge usury to the goyim. You can charge goyim usury, but you can't charge your brother. That's racist. Throw it in the trash. Get that racist trash out of my face. Racist. And the Jews control the world today with usury. With usury.
They are the Illuminati.
Okay. No. All right. So can I say what I wanted to say now? I'm good. Because I'm
sorry. You got me a little angry because I just don't like wasting. I told you earlier that I am tired of wasting time defending these evil positions. It's a waste of, don't you understand that?
No, because you don't understand what he's saying. So that's the thing.
Like people want to waste time trying to explain. Wow, actually, there's a certain time when you can smash a baby.
I'm not saying that. I'm not a Muslim.
There's a certain. Why? It's in the old Psalms 137:9 says, "Happy shall he be that bashes little babies."
Yeah, because you don't understand that. Sometimes.
Oh, I don't understand. I'm smashing the baby wrong.
You don't.
I'm smashing it wrong.
I want to go to the
I gotta meet you.
Face, but you don't want to go here.
I gotta meet you. I'm trying to say something, and you guys keep breaking to argument. So, if we're not here to talk about the scriptures, then or these passages, then. I don't know what we're doing here, because that is what I came here to do, to discuss the Old Testament. So if you don't want to do that, like, I can end the stream and maybe we can do something else another time. But I'm gonna unmute you guys now.
All right, I'm talking. If you have any questions for it, just ask me a question. Listen, I don't want to talk about the R word. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. Any other questions?
No, I want to talk about it. I mean, I want to talk about it, man.
Because it's morally indefensible. It's morally indefensible.
Man,
it's morally indefensible.
Because you keep cutting us off, man. I mean,
Of
it's not.
course.
It's not
When you
saying what you think it's saying.
When you
like,
try to
it's the
justify the
opposite.
R word, I'm not trying to hear it. I've been through this so many times. I made 500
Because
videos.
nobody has ever had you never had an answer. But this is the reality, man.
Okay.
You never had an
So
answer.
I'm gonna end
This is
this.
the reality.
I think I'm gonna end the stream because.
All right, hey brother John, I really
Yeah.
appreciate you bringing me on here. Okay.
Love you, John, man. I love
Hey,
you.
sorry I took a turn for the worst.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So,
It didn't really. It was actually. It's gonna be very entertaining. I'm sorry if I talked over people, but for me, it's a thing of morality. For me, morality is very important, and morality is something I meditate upon constantly. Okay, and I'm gonna constantly question these things.
Can I give you an article? Since you don't want to hear me, can I give you an article?
Yes.
Okay, man. At least you don't. Please read it. At least read it.
I'll read it. I'm
You
very
promise.
fair. I am very fair.
Okay, my God. One second.
I'm just not fair when it comes to issues of
It's okay, man.
when I see something is clearly wrong and clearly immoral, I'm not going to be fair.
It's okay because it's. I mean, if you think it means that, like,
Listen, brother,
I don't think it means that.
They're using the Old Testament right now to genocide little children in Gaza, and they use scriptures in the Old Testament to justify it. I can't do this no more, man. I'm sorry.
Man, who does that thing? What are you talking about?
No,
it's
that's
even
what they
against.
do. I can show you a slew.
I'm gonna end the stream now because
all right.
I don't.
Yeah, that's bad
like,
stuff. I didn't want to say that stuff on this channel.
I don't see a point
It's
of
okay,
continuing this.
That can get your channel wiped. I'm sorry, but it was a point that needed to be made.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna end the stream now because I thought we were gonna come here to talk about the Old Testament, but obviously that's
fine. That's cool. It was still pretty good. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Okay, I cannot lie.
Yeah.
I have no complaints.
If you guys want, there might be some way you can continue a discussion like this another time. But for now, I'm gonna end the stream because
that's fine. That's probably for the best. It's probably for the best. Yeah, I agree. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for actually coming up because usually people just when I ask them let's have a discussion, they're like, oh no, I'm too busy following the Torah. What?
Hey, like I said, hey brother John, like I said, you're the first person I talked to in like a few years, man. I'm just letting you know. All right, I just don't talk to anybody, but I liked you seem like you had a cool spirit, and so hey, it is what it is. And I enjoyed the invitation. I enjoyed the questions. I do apologize if I started yelling.
Right.
But I just don't want to waste time talking about the R word and Deuteronomy. I said at the beginning of the video, I don't like talking about that Deuteronomy 22. I feel it's a waste of time. And it's torture to me. I would rather do 5,000 Hail Marys than do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, guys, you know. I don't think it means what you think it means. That's the whole thing. I've
studied it in depth for years. It means exactly what it says.
Fine. You know, I have other people that studied for 22 years still, and they came up with other conclusions. So it's not
I mean, of course they would. They have to harmonize the whole Bible. The New Testament cannot be harmonized with the Old Testament. The Old Testament cannot be harmonized with the Old Testament. Then the Gospels can't even be harmonized with each other. It's a mess. It takes years of study and you'll go insane.
If you think it can't, I mean, that's your thing because people are doing it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream now.
Bye, Johnny.
If you guys want to, if they want, like,
no, let's go. We're going in. I have to have stuff I got to do anyway.
All right, yeah. If there's another time you guys want to discuss something, an actual topic that you both want to do, I can try to host it. But for now, I'm just gonna end the stream. So, yeah.
Sure.
Love you guys.
Thanks again. I am checking out. That is the last goodbye for me.
All right. Well, there we go. Well, that broke down. So, I guess I'll end it for now. Thank you guys for watching. We'll try to see if we can get a discussion. Next time, I'm not going to let anyone up unless I specifically specify open dialogue, right? Because that obviously was a bad idea on my part, so I'm sorry. So next time, it's going to be me one-on-one with someone, unless beforehand I plan, hey, you know, I'll have my friend with me or Bible lover with me or whoever, you know, so so remember this next time. For any of these kinds of streams, if it says open discussion, then you can join. If it's a link where I specify for someone to join, then it's for them. If I see you backstage, I'm just not going to let you up. So just remember that for the future. All right, one more time. I'm going to say one more time. If I specify who I'm speaking with, then it will be only me and them. If we want to do an open dialogue, it will say open discussion in the title. And then you can go to my community post and click the link and join from there. But with that being said, I'm going to end it here. I might do like a short Q&A in my Discord server, link in my channel, because I plan to do something for them with this stream, but it didn't work out properly. So anyway, with that being said, God bless you all and goodbye.